Hey there, I'm Mastin Kipp, founder of thedailylove.com and author of the book Daily Love Growing into Grace, and welcome to this week's episode of Daily Love TV. This week, we're going to cover how to detox your calendar and find time for you. That's right, you. One of the things I've heard so many people talk about when it comes to transforming their lives is, well, Mastin, I'd love to come to Bali with you, or I'd love to come to Maui with you, or I'd love to come to a seminar, or I'd love to read, more books, or I'd like to exercise more, whatever it might be. But I don't have the time for that, right? And I've heard this so many times, but I don't have time for that. And while it's true that time is limited, in fact, time is our most precious and limited resource, when I start talking to people about why they don't have enough time, the picture becomes a little clearer as to how they could take their power back and really clean their calendar and detox their calendar. So I want to share with you some of my real time-saving strategies, because ultimately, if it's not on your calendar, if it's not scheduled, if it's not a routine or a ritual in your life, it will not come into fruition. A book is not going to write itself, a blog is not going to write itself, a business is not going to start itself, a relationship is not just going to, work on itself. Whatever you want to create, whether it's an incredible healthy body or, a successful business or whatever it might be, whatever you want to create requires time, it requires your calendar, it requires you to actually show up. And so if your calendar is full of all kinds of other stuff from other people, you're never gonna find time for you. And unfortunately, you're just gonna slide into mediocrity, and you're gonna slide into a boring life, and you're gonna slide into other people's priorities until one day you get so resentful that one of two things happens. You either just resign and say, well, that's just the way life is, or you get fired up and you hit a bottom, you say, I'm never gonna let this happen again. So maybe you've given up, maybe you're at that place where you're feeling that super frustrated that you wanna do that creative project or work on your exercise and diet or whatever it might be, but you just don't have the time. And I'm telling you, I've worked with single mothers, I've worked with people with full-time jobs, I've worked with people who are super busy entrepreneurs, I've worked with super successful people, I've worked with people who are just getting started, and the time is always gonna be a factor. And in fact, if you wanna become successful, and that's your ambition, time shrinks the more successful you become, which means there's less of it, right? You actually have more time when you're just getting started than you do later on when you have all these pressures and all these different deadlines for what's going on. So you gotta get your time right and your calendar right, and here's how you gotta do it. It's very simple. There's one word you gotta learn and then implement if you wanna clear and detox your calendar. No. That's the word you wanna learn. No. No is how you detox your calendar, because if you look at your calendar and all the time that you're spending with other people or on projects that you don't want to be on, you would probably be shocked. Think about all the times that you're saying yes to other people, to what they want. It could be friends, family members, it could be other projects, or if you're honest, how much time are you spending on Netflix, on HBO Go, watching television shows, on Facebook, doing things where you just let time pass by. People ask me all the time, how do you make a program, write a book, go on tour, do all these types of things? How do you find the time? It's because I've become really good at saying the word no. And when I look at my clients' calendars and schedules, it's like there's just all this free time where they just, kind of just have a glass of wine or watch dinner. And while all that type of stuff is awesome to just, relax, how much time are you actually wasting that could be used creating? And that usually comes down to a deeper issue. When you have a hard time saying no, there's two deeper emotional issues that we got to work on. The first one is being okay with letting people down from time to time. This is not about being selfish or being rude or being a narcissist, but for you to find time for your projects, for what's important to you, first, you got to become okay with letting people down. It's okay to say no. And some people say, well, Mastin, you know what? I've committed to all this stuff, and if I say no, I'm out of integrity. The answer is that's not true. You can, with integrity, go back and renegotiate something that you said that you would do. Like, dear so-and-so, I know that I committed to this thing that I said I was going to do, but now I've realized that I have other priorities, and so I'm going to say no. I'm going to give you this other solution to help you, to not leave you in a lurch, and then I'm going to take my time back. And that's a great thing to say. The other deeper emotional issue is when you find time and space to work on your projects, usually you've been spending so much time focusing on other people that there's usually unfelt negative emotions inside you that you've been running from: powerlessness, fear, guilt, anger, shame. And we got to work on those emotions, because ultimately, if you want to work on yourself and really become creative and get the relationship and take it to the next level, and get the business and take that to the next level, and exercise, take your body to the next level, you're going to have to work on yourself. And so when you get still and clear your calendar, all those emotions are going to well up, including the emotion of fear. Fear, is this going to work out? Fear that, am I enough? And then we get to the real issue, which isn't time. The real issue is unfelt negative emotions and fear. And so how well you manage unfelt negative emotions and fear will determine the quality of your life. So if you want to detox your calendar, believe in yourself. Develop a ritual or a behavior every single day that leans you in the direction of getting all of your goals met. So for me, a great example, like I need to exercise every single day. So the way that I do that is I prepare the night before all of my supplements so that they're ready to go. And it's like I wake up and boom, I'm just out the door. And it tips that behavior in that direction. So you want to set yourself up so that you can actually do the behaviors and the rituals that make you the most fulfilled, and then work on yourself. If you got to get a coach, get a therapist, work on the emotions, get good at saying no, and realize that one of the reasons why you don't have any time for you is because you have not made and claimed any time for you. And so I'm going to encourage you to do that this week. And in fact, you might be watching this video over on Facebook or over on YouTube. I'm going to encourage you to come on over to thedailylove.com, and below this video, leave a comment and let me know how you're going to claim your calendar, how you're going to detox your calendar so that you have more time for you. And what are you scared of? Are you scared of letting people down? Are you scared of things not really working out? What are you scared of? In the comments below, let us know so that we can support you. And if you have set boundaries and really taken your time back and detoxed your calendar, below this video, let us know your win, because if you can share your win, you can share your success, it helps someone who's just getting started, because I believe that together we can grow into who we're meant to be. So that would be my advice for you this week. Really take your calendar back, detox your calendar, set those boundaries, and we encourage you to do that, because what's on the other side, the body you want, the relationship you want, the life you want, the dreams you want, it's all there, but it's waiting for you to say no to others so you can say yes to yourself. And as I always hear at Daily Love TV, my deepest wish for you is to get out there, take action, and make it real. We'll see you next week.